People all over the world love to eat turnovers, but the beauty of these treats is the look and taste can be very different depending on what you put inside. Today, we're going to get a lesson in phyllo pastries from Debra Queen, our queen of green cuisine.
Hi,
Great
sweetie.
to have you, Debra.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I never know quite how to pronounce it. Is it phyllo or phyllo?
It's acceptable either way. Phyllo, phyllo.
Which is more acceptable, though?
You know, phyllo is what I call it.
Okay, I'll stick with that.
And it's spelled both ways, F-I-L-O or P-H-Y-L-L-O. And it's of Greek origin, actually, but you can make it with any accent that you want. So over here, I've got an Italian version with Italian sausage and Asiago. You could do it with Indian accent with lamb or chicken, or you could do vegan, so it doesn't have to have meat, but and doesn't have to have cheese.
They're the sweet ones as well, the apple turnovers or whatever else. Baklava.
Baklava, that's Greek, but yeah, really it could take on any accent. I do the Mexican with all the appropriate, you know.
Now, do you serve this as appetizers, or can you serve it as a meal? How do you do it?
Yeah, it's an appetizer for sure, but it can be served as a whole meal. And I have one in the oven that's about like this big, so it can be cut up. You can put eggplant, you do it vegetarian or vegan style, whatever you want. You can change it up by adding any kind of cheese or no cheese. You could put nutritional yeast, you know. You could use any kind of peppers, onions. Of course, I grow the leeks and all the onions and shallots in my garden.
And all this comes, so some of the veggies are from your garden.
Most of it, all the herbs and the leeks and things are from the garden. And so what we did was we drained the spinach.
Which ones are we making first? We're
going to do spinach with blue cheese and feta.
Very good.
And
so you started with this spinach.
Yeah, we steamed the spinach and then you just drain it well so it's not all soggy, you know. And then we sautéed some onion, very fine diced onion, and some leeks. Those are leeks.
So those are leeks and onions, and what else?
Leeks and onions and garlic.
Of course, garlic.
No, we don't make much without garlic around my house, I'll tell you.
Olive oil, what'd you put in there?
I put a little bit of butter in this one because I really wanted to have a nice richness. But you could use grapeseed oil or coconut oil. You know, it doesn't have to be butter. But in this case, I did.
And this is the consistency you want?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the consistency I want. I like everything kind of fine as opposed to like big slimy onions and stuff like that. Yeah.
So is that almost ready?
That's almost ready. So what we're going to do is you're going to add the add the breadcrumbs.
The breadcrumbs, how about what, a half a cup?
About half of that.
About
half of that.
You want me to throw all in?
About half of that.
Half.
About half of that. So a fourth cup of breadcrumbs, a little bit more.
A little more.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably good.
Okay.
I make the breadcrumbs from scratch.
Of course.
In other words, leftover bread. You know what I'm saying?
I would buy it, but you, of course, make it.
Well, it tastes better when you make it yourself, you know? And on this, on the peppers, you can use any kind of peppers, red peppers, you can use tomatoes, any kind of peppers that you want. I always try to clean this little rib out, and I know it looks like a monotonous job.
Now, what kind of peppers?
This is where the heat is. This is poblano.
This is kind of spicy, right?
Yeah, this one's kind of spicy. You use it a lot in Mexican food. And then we've got a cherry pepper that's a red cherry, purple cherry pepper. And then we got some tomatoes. So if you can chop those up a little bit, don't have to be too crazy about it. And then we'll mix this. And so, you know, you could put an egg in here if you want to, but you don't really have to. We do want to salt and pepper it, so if you could hand me the salt and pepper while you're doing that, then I will
salt and pepper.
Season it.
And you're
using to season everything.
And she's using what kind of salt?
This is Himalayan salt, excavated from the Himalayan salt mines. So it's not a sea salt. It's taken from deep within the earth. It has over 80 trace minerals. I use it a lot. So this is healthier
for you?
Yeah, this is very, very healthy. So you want a nice, generous, you know, you want to season it well, obviously. This is not iodized, so it doesn't contract the blood vessels like iodized salt does. Fresh cracked pepper, always fresh cracked. Fresh, everything fresh as much as possible, of course. You could add a little cayenne or a little crushed red or whatever, but we're adding some heat from the peppers here.
Yes. This is all very spicy peppers, all of them, or just...
Those are spicy, yeah. And then we're going to add a little tomato, just you know, to offset.
Tomato. Yes.
And so then we've got our onions and our leeks and garlic all sautéed, and now we'll start up our heat again over here to saute those peppers up a little bit. You don't want to put them in raw because they are really unpalatable, a little strong.
Now, where's the phyllo? Where'd you put that?
The phyllo's here. You keep it covered. It comes in a little plastic wrapping, as you see here. I'm going to move this.
You keep it covered. You want to keep it moist.
You want to keep it. You have to keep it moist because it gets brittle otherwise.
It'll be difficult to use if it gets brittle.
Yeah, and this is what we want to expound upon here, show you the technique. So now that you've got the peppers, that's fine, darling.
Okay, here you
We're
go.
going to get rid of this right use the back of the knife instead of the top of the knife so you don't dull your blade.
Oh, that's good. I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, and then we'll flip this over
Okay.
like so that we don't use the peppery side. Now you take the phyllo,
Okay.
all right, nice thin sheet of phyllo. It's like
Maybe about
tissue
2
paper.
minutes. Okay.
It's like tissue paper. You keep it moist, keep it covered, as I said, with a damp towel. Then you take your butter.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to go from the inside out, kind of like that,
Okay.
and butter it evenly. I'm just going to reach in front of you and get this. This is our blue cheese. You could use any kind of cheese, no cheese at all. Feta is wonderful with the spinach.
Almost
That's
a minute
traditional.
left.
Okay, and then we do mix it all up together.
Okay, I
And
think
once
the
you've
butter's
got
there.
this
Okay,
done,
got it.
then you fold it.
Okay.
And so you've got a nice layer of the butter in between.
And you stuff in it. We
And
have
then
a
you're
minute
going to
left.
stuff it, okay? So we're doing this kind of quickly. Normally I'd take a little more time doing this. But you go from this bottom corner in. I don't know if you can see
You
that.
can create a triangle.
But you make a little triangle. So you just keep flipping and flipping and flipping, flipping and flipping until you flipped out.
And then you tuck it in.
And then you
flip
tuck
out.
it. And this really, once you get going, you lay out a bunch of them. It's really a quick process. You do have to use butter or oil or coconut oil or something. So you've got a beautiful little envelope.
And then
little
when
package.
it goes in the oven, it'll be golden brown, right?
Yeah, it comes out just like this.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
So it does go in the oven, and for how long?
It's about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how big you make them and how brown you want them. This is just about the right degree of brownness that you want. And you can also take the phyllo and make little tots. So you can use your little tartlet shells all the way down in
Oh,
miniature.
that would be very pretty to have that tart look.
And you could make like a dessert shell or a savory tart.
And we're going to try today not just this, but what are the other flavors you've stuffed in
Oh,
there?
I have an eggplant
I'm gonna
spinach
try
in
that.
the oven. So
Okay.
we'll try that.
Excellent. And we have, of course, a recipe on our website, so
Yes.
be sure to click on Connecticut Style for
Yes.
Queen Deb's fabulous,
Queen.
Chef Queen's fabulous recipe. Coming
Thank
up,
you.
it's time.
Enjoy.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Coming up, it's time to unite in the fight for PKD. That's when Connecticut Style returns. Okay.